Welcome to Two Hearts Dance and Yoga's Heart to Heart series. My name is Leanne Barber, owner and founder of Two Hearts Dance and Yoga, and it's my pleasure to bring you some inspiration today. Today's episode features Malika Yates, Elite Miss Delaware Earth 2020. We're so happy to have her here with us. Malika is from New Jersey, but has lived in Delaware for over 5 years now. She graduated from Wilmington University with a degree in education and the arts and has 1 year left to complete her psychology degree from Florida International University. She holds the title as Elite Miss Delaware Earth 2019 and 2020, which means she will represent Delaware at the Miss Earth USA National Competition in Orlando, Florida. During the pandemic, she's founded her own environmental nonprofit, the Global Ripple Effect Project, Inc. Her mission is to inspire and nurture students to become environmental leaders, encourage communities to adapt eco-friendly and sustainable practices, and make our environment healthier that we've inherited globally. Welcome, Malika.
Thank you so very much for having me. Hello, everyone.
Absolutely. It's so nice to have you. We've been friends for many years, and I've watched you grow as just a wonderful individual and as a dancer and as just this awesome title that you have. So thank you so much for being here.
Your friendship means so much to me. You totally have just made my life so much richer.
You do the same, so thank you. Malika, thanks so much again for being here. You've mentioned that over the next 2 months, you will give out over 200 coronavirus kits, including reusable masks, bottles of hand sanitizer, and a few eco-friendly surprises to both students and those in need. You are making an impact during this pandemic. How has all of this changed your mission and brought you to where you are today?
Well, that's an excellent question. Before, I used to volunteer like 4 or 5 days a week. Like when I say full time, I literally volunteer full time. And I would go into different schools around our beautiful country and teach my eco education program. I also had so many opportunities this year to leave the country, go to Italy, plant trees, do my workshop there, and also go to 3 different parts of Africa and Colombia. I was also supposed to plant trees in Colorado and lead a workshop on the power of plants and the importance of planting trees. However, the pandemic changed everything. So instead of moping around in the house and being depressed, I decided that I was going to take time and do something that would really, really make an impactful, positive change in our world. So I was like, a lot of people have been telling me to start my own nonprofit. I did not know how to do it. And it kind of was intimidating at first, but there was nothing but time. Like when we were in the house, my mom and I are high risk. So in my service dog. So I only leave the house for essential items. I literally had time. I could not go out as much. I still go out and do my community cleanups, sometimes by myself or with people, but I couldn't, be involved in the nonprofits that I was involved in because they were all shut down. So I took the time to learn about nonprofits and I formed my nonprofit. It was not easy. People kept telling me I could do it one way, but I took a safety net and I did it through LegalZoom. So they kind of helped me with a lot of stuff, which was like really, really helpful during this like uncertain time. I was like, okay, I can relax. I'm still working on a website, but I'm just like really, really excited to be able to have, my environmental nonprofit. And through my environmental nonprofit, my Newcastle County president, Karen Hartley Nagel, she actually gave me my first grant to help out the community. And outside of the grant, I told her, I was like, because that's for my eco education program and other community things I'm doing. But I was like, I want to make coronavirus kits for our state. And I was like, I want to do it for students and underserved communities who don't, like, either they were laid off, they don't have money, or they're homeless. Like, I need to help our residents here. And so she was able to connect me and help me get, reusable mask, disposable mask, hand sanitizer. I already have eco-friendly packaging here that I'm going to put it inside of. And I'll be making handmade some eco-friendly gifts for those in need. And each package will have a inspirational quote from me to help the person receiving it get through this unprecedented time.
That is so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all of those wonderful things. And you're just like really finding the light during this time. And I just have to commend you on that, because being able to put these kits together and knowing that it's going to help people, knowing that's going to create a bigger impact during, this challenging time that we have, is just so admirable. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Very good. Just to get into a little bit more about you, can you tell us about yourself and where you grew up locally? And did you always want to be a pageant queen?
So it's funny that you asked, because a secret that no one knows is when I was younger, I remember watching Miss America on TV and always wanting to be a part of something bigger than myself, being a part of that type of legacy where you are able to help not just your country, but people globally. And I didn't really know how to do it. And I lived in both a suburban community and an underserved community. And when I moved to an inner city neighborhood, um, and I had expressed interest in pageantry and even went to my very first pageant, my peers were not very kind about it. And so I received a lot of pushback at school. I was made fun of, and it was very, very difficult, but I didn't stop. And surprisingly, not having a coach, any pageant experience or grooming in that field, I actually made it to semifinals. And it was the Junior Miss Soapbox Derby. I will never forget that. I was on the drill team. And so I did some of my drills. I put thumbtacks underneath my shoes to make it that much louder and impactful. And they loved it. Each drill was named after an African American leader that had greatly done amazing things for our country. So I was really, really proud to just share what I had learned at school with all of the judges and the attendees in the audience. And even though I didn't, make it to finals or win, I won in my heart because I was really, really shy. If you knew me then, you'd be like, that's not you. I was super, super shy. So for me to get up and put myself out there, even when my peers at school were telling me that, oh, that's stupid, you shouldn't do that, no one like us ever wins, I just received a lot of negative feedback, and it was hard to hear, but I couldn't let that deter me from my goal. So I stopped pageantry for a little bit after that. I didn't know that you needed a coach. I didn't even know a pageant coach existed until a few years ago. Fast forward to high school. So that was middle school. Fast forward to high school, I was a part of the Miss Teen New Jersey organization. And again, I made it. I went to finals. I guess you could kind of say I placed because it was 3 or 4 of us. But there I did, so a secret no one knows. I've always wanted to be a professional dancer, go on tour with, my favorite artists, be a professional cheer, that. That is a dream I've had since I was 2. And my dad, I remember before he passed away, his favorite team was the Dolphins. And I remember watching football. I love football. I grew up watching football with my dad and playing sports. I was a tomboy before I was a pageant queen. So there's that. I remember saying to him, I was like, Dad, I want to be a cheerleader just like the girls on TV, because you get, just like pageantry, you get to touch so many hearts around the world. And when you're a professional cheerleader, you get to go overseas and support our troops. You get to do so many amazing things for the community and globally. I always wanted to be a global leader, have a global impact, and leave our world better than we inherit for the future generations to come. So it's always been a goal of mine. And so he was like, you can be and do anything you want to be. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And so I always held that with me. And so fast forward to when I am at finals, and they asked me, so do you know what March Madness was? I will never forget that question, because even though I was a tomboy, like I kind of just mainly focused on my academics, because after my dad passed away, it was just my mom and I knew that I needed to get an academic scholarship to take, the stress off her having to pay for my college education. So, and I did, I received an academic scholarship, but at the same time, things I did not know what March Madness was. I thought it was like when things go on sale and, people are like shopping and it's madness and chaotic. That was not the answer. The guy said, good try. And then he told me what March Madness was. So I didn't do pageantry for a very long time. 2015, I tried again because Laura, she was, I believe, either the founder or co-owner of Going Pro Entertainment. And that's how I met her. She has such a great energy, positive attitude. Like I could just, I knew I could trust her because I had went to the sessions that she held in Florida. I had an amazing experience. And like when you meet a fellow cheerleader, you can just tell that they have a good heart. So she was doing the Miss Delaware pageant here in Delaware. And I was like, okay, I do not know a lot about pageantry, but I know for a fact I'm going to be in good hands. Like if I try again with this pageant system. And I did, I tried again. I believe I placed third runner up, which is nice. Still did not have a pageant coach, did not know about pageant coaches. Okay. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to focus on, my second degree, which is psychology for crisis counseling K through 12. And so I was like, let me just focus on that. And in 2017, on my birthday, Friday, March 3rd, a 10-pound metal arm gate malfunctioned and hit me in the middle right of my head, forever changing my life. And so I was like, okay, I can't cheer anymore because I couldn't dance. So then it was like, well, what does this mean for my life? Because I had been like, that's one thing I knew about training to become a professional cheerleader. And that's just like always been on my list of things. Like, how you have your whole life planned out and you know what you want to be when you grow up and the things you want to do, the career you want to have, and the impacts that you want to make. And then it was like to have my dream taken away from me, and like slowly every day as the headache spiked, the ringing in my head got louder, me trying to stand, just as everything changed, I just saw my dream going that much farther away. And I was like, I don't want to feel like this. Like my doctors were like, you need to leave the house. I was afraid to leave the house. I would have panic attacks at the grocery store. Like it was really, really bad. And I was like, I need to find something that is powerful enough that can enable me to be of service to my community and pull me out of this. And I saw Laura had posted for the Miss Earth USA pageant on Facebook. I reached out to her. I was completely transparent, honest. I'm like, hey, I have a traumatic brain injury. Is this something that I can do as a title holder? Like, would I be accepted if I applied? Because I wasn't working. So even though like the registration fee was only like, I believe $65 or $68, that was still a huge investment for me because I was working, but my brain was taking too long to heal, quote unquote. So I was released from my position because I wasn't well enough to go back to work at that time. And Laura said, yeah. So I was like, you know what, let me take this year. I didn't say this to her, but I, to myself, I thought to myself, let me take this year to get better. I knew that, only 1% of people actually fully recover, mainly everyone either are where I'm at right now or are no longer with us. So I was like, let me try to at least be better than I am today. Like Janine says, if I could just be 1% better, then, that's good enough. And so I reached out to Sideline Prep. I knew that, my goals of becoming a cheerleader might not be a reality, but I knew when my doctor said that I can dance again, I was like, well, there's no other place I would train. Like, I'm going to Sideline Prep. And then she had mentioned, I was like, I want her, I want Leanne. And so I was like, great, it's happening. And our first session, like, I don't even know how you did it. And it was like a combination of having that initial call with Janine and then seeing you, like, both of your energies were able to shape the woman that I've become today, because I did not know that I could be happy again. I wanted to be, but just having everything taken away from me so fast. And then the doctors are like, well, you can't live on your own. You have to live with your mom, for a bit. And so it was just like every day, like something new. And then just having that little bit of hope, you guys gave me so much hope and inspired me to dig deep and become a better version of myself. And I am forever grateful for that. And like, I trained, I danced, and dance is my therapy. It was always my outlet, my happy place. And just being able to do that again really, really just changed everything. It was like a 360. Like, I was just, watch out, world, I'm back now. And I went to, like, I was an appointed title holder. So I applied, I received my title as an appointed title holder for the state of Delaware 2019. I went to my first ever national competition and placed in the top 15, which was super awesome. And I made so many lifelong friends being a part of the sisterhood. And I'm back again, 2020.
Just knowing you as a person, I can't tell you how much you mean to me, because I remember when you came to do a session through Sideline Prep, and I'm so fortunate to be able to be a coach with Sideline Prep. They have created this program that it's not just about dance, but it's about creating this positive mindset, creating the confidence that is really going to build you up, not as just a dancer, but as a person. And I remember, kind of receiving you and you coming into the studio and us working together. And it's just a complete turnaround. Like, from where you were, you didn't have the confidence, you were a little bit scared, you weren't sure. You knew that, you had to let yourself heal, but at the same time, you were so determined to dance, to do the thing that you wanted to do so much. So to see that, you were able to make that happen, and to see kind of and I'm gonna, I feel like you're gonna cry.
I know, I'm fighting the tear.
Because to see like where you were, and like going through that recovery process, and like not knowing kind of what was next to come, and to see that you've overcome all of these obstacles, and you are now on this wonderful platform, Elite Miss Delaware Earth. And I'm so proud of you as a friend, as a coach, as just a person who's overcome so much to get to where you are. So thank you. It means so much to me to be able to have your friendship and to just see the growth as a person that you've become. And to have this title, Elite Miss Delaware, is just a reflection of who you are as well. You're always trying to make an impact. And it's just such a wonderful kind of culmination of everything to see that you have that crown on your head. So I'm so grateful.
Thank you. And it's all because of working with you and Janine. Like, you are only as strong as the team you have behind you. And you guys really, really, really helped me with my confidence. Like, And last year was the first time I wore a bikini in my entire life without a cover up and actually felt comfortable in my own skin. And literally, it was only because of having those sessions with you. Like, dance is how I lose weight, how I work out. I am not good at the gym, like, never have been and probably never will be. And I'm okay with that. But just dancing with you, stretching, getting my muscles together, like, all of that really helped me. And I didn't even have a coach last year. And I was able to like strut out there and work it on the runway, like, because you were my coach. I didn't need a pageant coach because I had you. So for those of you who are watching, please sign up, take classes at Two Hearts and Dance Yoga Studio, because Leanne is absolutely not just an amazing person inside and out, but amazing instructor and coach. And you guys definitely need her on your team.
You're so kind and so sweet. I appreciate it. It's making me blush. But, I just thank you so much. And thank you for sharing kind of your journey to let others know who are watching this that anything can be done if you have the determination and just the willpower to keep going. You didn't let anything come in your way. And I hope that, just by someone else watching this, maybe that inspires them to take their next step if they're, wanting to get into the pageant world, if they're wanting to continue their dance career, if they're wanting to just continue to be an artist or whatever it is. You are really giving that example and giving that light. So thank you. I do have a couple other questions for you as well, but just so glad that you were able to share that journey with us. It's so important.
Thank you.
So I guess, what would you say to someone who is looking to enter into the experience of the pageant world?
Do it. Don't hesitate, and don't let anyone else's view of pageantry discourage you or change your view. Because being in a pageant for me has really, really changed my life. It gave me a platform to speak about issues that I'm most passionate about, which is our environment. Environmental advocacy has been at the root of my foundation. Being part Cherokee Indian, I learned how to protect and preserve our environment at an early age. And being a part of this organization has just enriched my life so much. I get to go on mission trips, which was only a dream, and now it's a reality. Like, I always wanted to travel and go on mission trips, even like with my church when my mom and I would volunteer. And my mom's like, you can't go alone and I can't take off work. So just being able to be a part of those things that are really making change, not just in our country, but other countries, it's a feeling that you won't ever forget. It is an amazing feeling to be of service to your community. So definitely sign up today. Miss Earth organization is one that I'd highly recommend, not that I'm biased, but because you get to be a part of a sisterhood. And should you be crowned, you get to be a part of a bigger legacy than yourself. So definitely check out Miss Earth USA. You guys can follow me on social media at Elite Miss Delaware, both on Facebook and Instagram, and ask me any questions you may have.
Awesome. Thank you for opening that up to our community. You are such a great resource and kind of giving any insights in someone who, might be looking to pursue that path. So thank you so much. You kind of told us about your global ripple effect project and how that came about. And we're so happy to hear that you were able to put all of that together, even during a pandemic, which is awesome. And you really embody what it is to live that eco-friendly lifestyle. What are some tips that you might have for someone who is just trying to start living an eco-friendly lifestyle?
Start out small. The ripple effect is a chain reaction. One small act a day can greatly change your life. So, for example, you could walk, bike, or carpool, and that will help reduce your carbon footprint. Also, eating less meat will reduce your carbon footprint. I'm not saying you have to go vegan. Yes, I'm vegan, but just eating less meat will greatly reduce your carbon footprint. Switching from plastic to reusable water bottles, reusable straws, bamboo cutlery when you go out are ways you can also help the environment, because single-use plastic is very, very dangerous. It does not break down. It is not biodegradable. And when people litter, it actually not only affects our aquatic wildlife, but it affects our water and our air quality. So also, take 2 trash bags with you, one for recyclable items and one for your trash. And if you happen to throw those away, put it in your trunk. If you have any trash, just put it in your trunk. I do that myself. If I threw both of my bags away in the proper containers, I will just put it in my trunk so I reach my destination. Because littering really, really, really causes a bad ripple effect. Like, you have your air pollution, your water pollution, and leaching into the soil, and then also our aquatic life ingests that, and then they digest it. And then if you eat fish or anything from the seas, then you too are now ingesting microplastics. So it is full circle. We do share this environment with our little wildlife friends. So let's be kind to one another and try to do one thing a day to spark change. No matter how small it may seem, you're having a really big impact.
Wonderful. Couldn't have put it a better way. We are so happy to have you here to give us those tips, to give us your journey, your insight. Thank you so much. Can you tell us again where people can see more about what you're doing? They can follow you and learn more about you.
Yes, Elite Miss Delaware, ELITEMISS Delaware, spelled out, on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you, Malika. On behalf of Two Hearts Dance and Yoga, it has been such a pleasure to be with you today. And I will be talking to you again soon, because I know we have some collaborations in the works coming up. But thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you continue to do during this pandemic. And I know your national competition is coming up in January. So we will all be cheering you on from the sideline.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thank you.